Braeden Sorbo here with us today, and that would be the man, the guy that used to go around kicking everybody's butt. But we have him, and I'm guessing your dad. What did you say? You lived in California, and he pulled you out of there?
We did. We were in California for a long time and moved to Florida about 5 years ago.
How's it been?
It's been a blast. Much better than California.
Well, something that he did that I'm very proud of him about, and you can't be that old. How old are you?
23.
And he already wrote a book.
This is my second one.
2 books. Now, this one's called Embrace Masculinity, and you can get this at sorbostudios.com, but I'm seeing like everybody, Roseanne, General Flynn, everybody's like giving you props on this, and it's basically, could you give us the thesis of what it's about and all that?
Yeah, so the book itself, Embrace Masculinity, Lifting Men Up in a World That Pushes Them Down, is a handbook for godly living in America today. Growing up in California, I got to see firsthand, especially living on Hollywood sets, the decline of traditional masculinity. Everything that we hold true as men is labeled toxic by nature.
Yeah.
And so this real masculinity is essentially replaced with a fake or toxic version of it, which is domineering, oppressive, and controlling. And so the book itself is a return to the traditional values of masculinity, the main tenet of which is responsibility. The most important thing as a man that you can do is become responsible for people around you, that being your wife, your kids, your friends, and your family.
Are you married or?
I'm not married, not yet.
Were you, did you go on the set with your dad when you were younger, like a lot?
Yeah, I was homeschooled, so I grew up on Hollywood sets. That's what made me want to become an actor.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is so super cool. So you kind of have it all down, but so then you were there and you watched it totally crumble, because I was there, since about the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I watched it totally fall. Now to you, since we're both Christians, is it hard not to compare Sodom and Gomorrah almost even to with Pacific Palisades? I mean,
no, I wrote in the book, the very first chapter is called "The America Your Parents Knew No Longer Exists," and it essentially is an ode to the fact that the American dream is dead.
Yeah.
A milkman's salary is to be able to support a family of 5. My dad's dad was a teacher, 7th and 8th grade boys, math and biology. Teacher supported a family of 7. I couldn't do that today. That's insane.
Right.
And so the America your parents knew is dead. And so I wrote in the book, I said, if something doesn't change soon, we owe Sodom and Gomorrah an apology.
That's so true. And I mean, 100-mile-an-hour winds, all those houses are wood and asbestos. It's poison. It's toxic now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like, what motivated such a young guy, though, to do this? Was it just because, now, for me, is it hard for you to find friends that are masculine today, or?
No, we're actually seeing a return to masculinity. How old are you?
27.
27. Okay, so you've probably seen it too. There's a lot of guys who are returning to the church in droves. Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant churches, we're getting, it used to be 75% of churchgoers were women. It's now reversed. 75% of churchgoers are young men.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you know what? So I was walking by a church here in D.C., and the janitor stopped me and he said, "Chris, you need to come in here and save this church." I said, "Why?" They said, "They've turned it into the alphabet soup." And so literally there's 4 churches right around the Capitol within a mile. And so Andre and I, we're going to feed them, we're going to clothe them, and the veterans. But I look at it like, until we take care of everyone that we have that we can see, we can't take care of anybody else. Like in the Bible it says, why are you so concerned about, the splinter in your brother's eye when you have a plank in your eye? First remove the plank from your eye so that you can see clearly enough, to operate. In other words, and it's the same thesis with our border. Why are we worried about their border when our border is horrible? Mm-hmm. Why are we worried about the border in the Ukraine when it's horrible?
Right.
But then for you young guys, I sit there and say, wow, 77% of the kids can't serve in your generation.
Yeah.
And do you notice it when you just go around talking to people? Now, I do. And it's refreshing for me to see young masculine dudes, because we're kind of crumbling. They've labeled it to where if you're a man, you're toxic, and then at the same time, then they denigrated all the women by letting the mentally ill men compete with our women. So it's like,
There's an absolute revival. I mean, from our generation, a couple years ago, all of a sudden it was in style to not be tough, and that's not what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
You want to be tough. You want to excel, win, and be successful for your family. And now people see that that's a lie. They see that what they were fed in this failing education system, it's okay to be weak, it's okay to be feminine and not be the best version of yourself. That's all an absolute fallacy.
Yeah.
People see that in order to have a great, strong family, you've got to have those masculine roles in your life. And you talk about a lot of those in your book. And what would be your advice to people who are getting started? Because they've been so disserviced by this system and by this education. They don't know where to start, and that's what your book talks about.
Yeah, I said that I hate the phrase "weak men create hard times" because you are the weak men who created the hard times. So why are you coming up with this? Like, you're the ones responsible for this. And so I tell the guys who are kind of feeling a little disserviced, a little kind of disappointed, let down, who think that, you know what, the only way is to be an alpha bro, red pill, get with as many women as I can, that'll solve all my problems, is really the only thing you can do is first turn to Christ, and then everything else will start falling into place. Because the world is going to continuously let you down. There isn't a single thing that you can do here on your time in Earth that's going to change that. The world will do nothing but disappoint you and the people in it. And so, like you said, people were fed lies for decades. Now we have a return to this traditional virtuehood that we've seen, where women are going, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I just want to bake sourdough bread, be pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. I don't want to sit in a cubicle and work a 9 to 5.
Hey,
are you kidding?
Those are the gifts that do not rust.
No, exactly. C.S. Lewis is quoted as saying that the job of the homemaker is the most important job in the world, because every other job on the planet serves to make the homemaker comfortable.
Well, I think your dad did a damn good job in raising you, I'll tell you that. Seriously, think about
Thank you.
that. So, Kevin, you did an awesome job. I mean, my son, he's 26 years old, so he's a little bit, around your age. But at the same time, yeah, Eden, you didn't write 2 books, so you better get busy. In embracing masculinity, holy cow. And besides your website, is this at stores or Amazon or?
So this will be on Amazon, but people, if they want to get a signed autographed copy, they can go to sorbostudios.com. It's available for pre-order right now. There it is.
And it looks just like this.
It's me on the cover too, for those who don't know.
Oh, really?
That is me. It's not my dad.
Huh. Well, there you go. Woohoo! I think we got out of focus there.
Oh, no.
Bit, but we're in focus somewhere else. We have to get in? Did something bad there.
All good.
Amazing job.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
guys.
Keep on pushing the movement. People need to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you back on. He's going to make his rounds here. He is at CPAC right now. And Braden's just making the rounds and getting to know everybody. I bet if you keep this up, you'll probably be a politician by the time you're 30 or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you, General Flynn and Governor Huckabee both said you might end up voting for me in the future, so I think they're teeing me up.
There you go.
I think they're smart and they can recognize it. So, man, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, thank you. Like yours as well, Bridget. All righty. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be streaming a little bit live here later on. And we had a great time here with Braeden Sorbo. God bless the nation.